Gloria, so lovely to be in this iconic apartment of yours. It's an extraordinary apartment. You don't come across many apartments like this in New York City. I've been here since 1980 and I've been to many apartments. But this is just absolutely extraordinary. You have to tell me about this once we start talking. Well, I met you the first time in 1980 and you were of course known at the UN because you are the editor-in-chief and the publisher of Society Diplomatic Review. And you know, what I've always loved about you, I've come to many of your glamorous dinners, and what I've loved about you is that it's, you know, people are talking so much today about the other, but you have been since 1980 that I've known you. You deal with people with such ease. You not only know the people in New York, but because you belong here, but you know people in the Middle East, you have traveled so much all over the world, and they're all your friends. They come and stay with you in this lovely apartment. You educate for them, you connect them to people. I mean, my book is all about connections. And you know, who better than you know the art of connecting? So I need to learn myself, and everybody else who will see this video will have a lot to learn from you. Yeah. So Gloria, tell me about your family was in fashion business to begin with, right?
My father founded what's known as 7th Avenue, and my father and brother built the first big sophisticated fashion factories in India and China.
Wow.
They changed the whole industry. Whatever there is today in fashion coming from India or China was spearheaded by my family. They started putting those fashions in the top departments.
What were they called?
That was in the 60s.
What is the family called? The name? The family
Starr.
name?
Frank Starr.
Frank's, okay.
And Malcolm Starr.
Okay.
But I started Gloria in the UN 1947. I had a dinner at my house.
In this apartment?
No, I lived in the country. I was a young couple with my husband. We had 2 children, and I used to entertain very interesting people, like the first Russian ambassador for the UN, Fedorenko, a Chinese gentleman called Victor, who I don't know if you met any of those.
Well, they were so long ago,
I
but it
think
was
you
amazing.
came later, you see. I'm earlier than you. Nelson Rockefeller asked me to find a girl Friday for him at the UN. Would you like to do it? At that point, I had not been involved in the UN. Had no idea what it entailed. When the UN first started, the elegant, important families loved getting to invite the different ambassadors, particularly the French, the German, the Europeans, and in those days, because of the Holocaust and because of the problem in Europe, the Austrian royal family were living in New York. The Duke and Duchess of Windsor were living in New York. So it was really haute monde entertainment and networking. And that's where I started. I decided that we had to include the diplomatic world, who were still new to New Yorkers. They weren't accustomed. New Yorkers, most of them, did not speak 2 languages. They only spoke English and English.
She talked about in 1947.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Fascinating.
So my life started in a way because of Pakistan. When I started working at the UN, my first person to take care of was from Pakistan, Sir Malik Feroz Mahmood.
Oh my God, really?
And in his delegation, the ambassador was Nihan, and there was also Siku Beg.
My goodness, how do you remember these names?
They used to come all the time.
It doesn't matter, my
And
goodness.
Zulfikar Bhutto. Zulfikar Bhutto had a Persian book. In those days, the diplomats, including Sir Feroz, did not know a lot of New Yorkers. So when I invited Sir Feroz to come, I met him at the dinner of the foreign minister of Iran. He was very curious. He said, "What are you doing here at the dinner of the foreign minister of Iran?" And I said, "Well, I'm a friend of Ardashir Zahidi, the Shah of Iran's son-in-law, and he's married to the Shah's daughter and is ambassador in Washington."
Wow.
So he said, "I'd love to get to know them." I said, "Well, next time Zahidi's in New York, I'll let you know." One thing led to another. Then Ogden Reed came to one of my receptions and dinners, and he said, "Gloria, would you work for Nelson Rockefeller?"
Would look for?
Nelson Rockefeller, the governor.
Yeah.
So that's where I went to the UN, working for Nelson Rockefeller.
Wow.
I was his go-to girl. Every head of state that came in, my job was simply to call on them, and Governor Rockefeller welcomes them to New York City, and he would like to know, what do you want from New York State or America, and what would you like the Rockefellers to do with their clout for investment in the country? That was the goal I had.
My goodness. Amazing. How
Then-
do you remember all this,
Yes.
Gloria?
Then I worked with the American delegation, with a delegate called David Guyer, who founded Save the Children with his wife. Later on, a lot of the old great names like Breckie Vreeland, whose mother was very important in fashion, like my family were important in fashion, but he became a delegate to the United Nations. It's a whole history. That's why.
Amazing history. It's not just
So
history.
The history's now. Not only that, but I had staying at my home Prince Ali Khan's cousin, who was a member of the Persian delegation to the UN.
Yeah.
So his cousin said to me, because he was my house guest, "Can I borrow a car?" Because we have two cars. "Can I borrow a car? Because my cousin, Prince Ali, is coming in to race his horses with me." And I said, "Of course." And then his cousin said to me, "Why don't you come with me and meet my cousin, Prince Ali?" So I went, and I met Prince Ali for the first time in Lord Astor's suite in New York on Madison Avenue in the 60s. And I got to know him quite well. Then when I was talking to him, I told him, "You know, Sir Malik Feroz Noon, the head of the delegation of Pakistan to the UN on the Kashmir debates, would love to know you." And Prince Ali said, "By Jove, that would be beautiful." Anyway, I became very close friends with Prince Ali, and for my article in the New York Post, I got exclusives from Prince Ali always.
Ah.
And I lived in Scarsdale, in Larchmont, New York. He came every Sunday to lunch at my house.
And was Vicky Noon with him at that time?
He came, the first time he came with Mir Khan and Siku Beg, and he came with Zulfikar Bhutto, the first time.
Zulfikar Bhutto, okay.
After that, Zulfikar Bhutto came more often because his wife was Persian.
Yes, sir.
And I had all of the Persians. I had Zahidi, who was married to the Shah's daughter. He was ambassador in Washington. My place was like a weekend. We had students from Iran playing music in the garden, barbecues. It was a different world.
It was a world that you started, created for yourself.
Imagine that, did you know the name Victor Hu?
No.
Well, he was very key in the UN. Victor Hu was Chinese. He spoke 5 languages.
He was the ambassador, right?
He was in the Secretariat.
Oh, he was secretary.
Victor Hu. And Victor Hu was a close friend of the Russian ambassador. And he brought the Russian ambassador many times.
So you used to organize these lunches at your home?
Sunday lunches. Yes, Sunday lunches at my house.
And so who was cooking all the grand food and who was doing all that?
I had one Irish maid, and she made Irish stew and very simple food. I had 2 children, one 3 years old, the other one 6.
And where was your husband?
I was still married then. And we used to entertain these people. We had a very nice house with a lovely garden.
I'm sure because you always
We had all the Persians.
And was your
very-
husband?
I was very close to Princess Ashraf.
Ashraf, Shah Jahan's sister.
She was a friend.
Tell me something. Was your husband also very keen on entertaining? Did he enjoy entertaining?
He loved.
So you see, it takes 2 people to enjoy it. Shawkat and I both enjoy, so we bring people together, it becomes easier. And he was also social like you?
But what I appreciate with your cookbook is simple, good recipes, because it was not fancy, Marina. I had one Irish maid, but Irish are accustomed to big families, and it was easy for her to make a dinner for 10, 12.
Yeah. I've been to your dinners here for your dining room here is for how many? 18, right?
Yeah.
It seats 18. And I've come here for dining room table. So for you, it's not, you are very easy about it. That's what you need to be. And you're very right. This is what I always say. You don't have to become extravagant. Your menus can be just make everything easy.
As long as it's tasty.
Yeah. And there's enough food for everybody to share.
Exactly.
And that is why you've been able to do what you've
You
done.
would be amazed, but I was a close friend of André Alphonse. The French ambassador in Washington was Hervé Alphonse. So André Alphonse came with his brother, Hervé Alphonse. Sometimes Hervé Alphonse was visiting in New York. And it was a different New York in those days.
Yeah. The UN was so different at that time as well. I mean, recently it's very different, isn't it? So I don't know how the change happens, but I suppose.
I was a friend of Zaldivar Bhutto. All the years he came to New York as foreign minister whenever he came. I knew it very well.
Yeah, and you knew his wife as well, Mitra.
Yeah, but also we had a personal friendship. Let me explain to you, because it doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
Sir Malik, when I started working for Rockefeller, he realized who I knew. I knew all the famous old real society, the Vanderbilts, the Astors, the old names. You don't see them anymore. They don't exist. And he loved being with those people. He said to me, Gloria, until I met you, I would be taken from the Savoy Hotel where he stayed, Savoy Plaza. They take me from the Savoy to the Pakistan mission to the UN, where they arrange meetings with all the people I know already from the subcontinent. He said, I'm having much more fun coming to your house with you kids. We love coming to your house. Also, I used to play a lot of Spanish music. My mother was Spanish, flamenco. And he said the flamenco music is like Pakistani music. So many beautiful memories of him. He was a great man.
Have you not thought about putting down a memoir?
I don't know. Everybody asked me to. I started a couple of pages here and there. I had photos of stuff.
I need some photos.
But the ambassador of Russia then, maybe it was a Russian in the secretariat, because it was with an F, like Ferragamo, almost like the Italian name Ferragamo. It was with an F.
Fedorenko.
Fedorenko. He used to come all the
Yeah.
time.
First name Nikolai.
Yes, he came.
Nikolai Fedorenko.
Yeah. He was the Russian ambassador from 63 to 68 for 5 years.
And he was a friend of yours.
He was Victor Hu's friend, and he went with Victor to my house. I never had a personal relationship with him, but he came all the time.
Yeah.
Because remember, I had in my house the Washington ambassador of Iran. Iran was on the border of Russia. They had good relations.
Right.
It's a different world.
Anyway, they were different people. They were iconic people. Iconic people, like if you talk about Zion,
I can only tell you that Prince Ali never forgot that I introduced him to Sir Malik Rose Khan, invited me with the American ambassador, all the top people, to his dinners and people place. And sometimes just people would, some of the Americans would be sitting around casually, not parties or anything like Liz Whitney, horse people, polo people, he would invite. And he always gave me, when he arrived in New York and when he left New York, he always gave me the last interview for the New York Post, not for my Society of Diplomatic Review. I was working with Charles Van Rensselaer for the New York Post, and I got the last interview of Prince Ali. He said to me, Gloria, I've been made ambassador to Argentina. And I said, Prince Ali, what is your favorite tango? And he said, inspiration. And around a month later, he died in France on that Corniche car.
yeah, he died in a car accident. He died in a car accident in France.
He was also a close friend of my friend, who was married to the Duke d'Uzès, the first Duke of France. All of these people were here, and not only that, but some of them stayed at my guest apartment. Manu d'Uzès, Peggy Bancroft died. Manu d'Uzès stayed here, and I had a guest apartment. And the Duke of Wellington stayed at my apartment.
How long have you owned this place?
1958.
68. Okay. So Duke of Wellington, who's that? Who's Duke of Wellington?
Sorry?
You said Duke of Wellington.
The Duke of Wellington from London, the famous
Yeah.
Duke of Wellington.
Yeah, but what's his name?
Valerian.
Valerian.
Valerian. Look him up, the Duke of Wellington.
And how did you meet him? How did you meet him?
He owns a palace in London, right in the center of London.
Wellingtons are supposed to own.
Sorry?
Wellingtons, that's why I was asking you, they're supposed to own half of London. After the Queen, they are supposed to be the most.
Let me explain something.
What an extraordinary life, Gloria.
I have no regrets.
Apart from not having any regrets, it's just extraordinary what you have done. And I don't know whether Marina discussed it with you or not, but I look at you and Marina look at you. Marina and I look at you as a very, generous, giving person.
I think I try to be, yes.
Talk about your experience. Tell me something about your experience at the UN.
My experience at the UN,
Talk to me about the earlier years, because that
About
most
what?
of about the earlier years since you joined the UN 1947. You said, right?
It was,
51 countries.
yes. And they used to have concerts in their dining rooms. It was so elite. They used to have famous pianists. They used to have different life completely.
And different quality diplomats.
1947 until the 60s, the Europeans were elegant dinners, black tie dinners.
Well, we missed that period, but still from the time we came here in 1980 to now, it's changed completely.
Sad.
Very sad.
But there are some very good people.
Oh,
Still.
no doubt about it. Yes, of course.
You know who I like? The Russian ambassador.
Vasily, the current Russian ambassador.
He likes me too. The Russian ambassador.
We were together at one function at the Pakistan. We were together at one function with Vasily
Yes.
and you and I
Yes.
at the Pakistan embassy, Pakistan mission, some time back. Vasily is an extraordinary person.
He loves me.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. He's a sweetheart. Very, very nice.
Absolutely.
And
loves me.
he's done very well for his country at the UN.
He's a wonderful
Yeah.
man. I think he's wonderful, and I think the ambassador of Israel
I don't know him at all.
is brilliant. You know who interests me then? Is the Palestinian ambassador. He's a friend of mine.
Riyad Mansour. I was with him just now, before I came here.
He has a big future.
Well, I don't know big future, but
The
he's
British-
doing very well.
The British have opened an embassy in London. It's very key.
Yeah. But this man, Riyad Mansour, is a professor. He was teaching somewhere in America, and he had already earlier on done a stint at the UN, and then they brought him. He now has a minister level position within Palestine,
I know.
and he's just marvelous guy. I mean,
He has an American wife.
yes, I was with him less than half an hour ago. He wants to go for the presidency of the General Assembly of the UN.
He won't get it, but he deserves it.
You say that, and I think he knows the challenges. So let's see what happens.
Well, he should let him throw his hat in the ring.
Yes, that is what he's doing.
But if you see him, tell him, because he's my friend. In fact, I said to Julia, she runs away, she's a millennium. I had his telephone number and I wanted to call him and I couldn't find it.
Yeah, I can give you a
Cannot believe your memory, Gloria. As we say, mashallah.
I mean, in Pakistani politics, which is full of all kinds of people, Firoz Khanun was a noble man. And what about this other gentleman, Mia? What's his name?
Hmm?
The resident ambassador at that time, what was his name? Who came with Firoz?
Mir Khan,
Mir Khan. How was he?
very nice.
I got to know him in Geneva.
He used to come to my house.
Yeah,
Sir
yeah.
Feroz.
He's a-
But then after a while, Sir Feroz came less because Sir Feroz, for instance, like the foreign minister of Italy was a friend of mine, Gaetano Martino. And Sir Feroz and Gaetano Martino became friends.
No, because Sir Firoz Khan's portfolio changed. So I suppose that is why he was.
Let me tell you a story with Sir Feroz, because I didn't know anything about Muslim. When I got this job at the UN, I didn't know anything. I really knew nothing.
What was this job exactly? What was the exact nature?
It was to call on every head of state for Governor Rockefeller.
Ah,
A welcoming committee. I was in it. International Visitors Committee.
So that was something for, that was protocol?
No, it was from his office.
Or from his office?
Look up International Visitors Committee.
yes. Yes, you were going to tell us the story. Oh, when you were in that capacity,
When I was in that capacity, nobody knew how to get to Rockefeller. I didn't realize my importance. The different ambassadors would come and say, Gloria, tell Governor Rockefeller I want to meet him. So I arranged it. But I didn't realize my power. It's funny. I was a kid.
yeah,
I was 25.
wow. But the interesting thing is, I'm sorry to have to say this, today, no ambassador wants to meet the governor. But Rockefeller was Rockefeller. It was a completely different ballgame. So people would have liked to meet like the mayor of that time, that era.
But these are things that are easy to do still today, but people don't know how to do it. Let me tell you a story. This is very interesting. With the foreign minister of Portugal. The foreign minister of Portugal said to me, Gloria, can you arrange for me to meet Mr. Bernard Baruch? Bernard Baruch. Bernard Baruch was a famous, like Kissinger, statesman. So my father was dated Bernard Baruch's sister, Joan Baruch. So I said, Mr. Foreign Minister, I forget his name right this minute. Of course I can arrange a meeting with Bernard Baruch. But you just call him American style and tell his secretary you want to meet Bernard Baruch. And the foreign minister said, no, Gloria, because if he refuses, he's refusing the country. So I arranged for him to meet with Bernard Baruch. Those are the things I used to do, but I knew Bernard Baruch.
These are the people who have the University, Baruch College in the city, the university, etc. Yes,
These are great families who funded the Metropolitan Museum. They were our friends in those days. It's a different world.
So, Gloria, who are your friends now?
That's,
No, I know you have hundreds of friends, but
I can't say. I have a lot of friends. A lot. But you know, and Marina knows, Paolo Zampoli,
yeah,
you know him. We've been together many, many times. Even here at my house, I've had him here and you've been here. Same group. But now, Paolo even went to the Middle East with Trump. He just came back from Bahrain.
well, apparently there are big business opportunities
Yes.
out there. You know, now we talk about billions as if they were $100,000. Everybody is a billionaire. The whole thing has become inconceivable that you can buy this
all
thing.
you have to do is judge the American Indians from India and Pakistan. 90% of them came with $200 in their jeans. They're all rich. They all have beautiful homes.
Absolutely. To America, yes. All these people who have at this kind of opportunity in college, they have tried. Why not? Good for them.
But I'm amazed.
It is amazing.
You see, they bought homes in Long Island and New Jersey that are houses.
I know. But you know, still they are very rich, but then the uber rich. Uber rich meaning $1 billion plus. So $1 billion plus class is expanding. And the billionaires are going to become trillionaires.
Yes.
Like this guy.
That's it.
No. Musk. He is now $743 billion. And under Trump, he's making more money. And I think by the end of this year or something, he will be a trillionaire. First trillionaire of the world. And then Bezos will follow us. So the value of money now is...
You know, the most valuable book I recommend to everybody is Family Post Etiquette. It doesn't exist anymore. And it was the Bible when we were young. Emily Post Etiquette.
That's, I know this book. I know this book. Because this was given to almost every debutante, everybody who wanted to
Everybody. You had to have it.
And there was another book which was called How to Make Friends and Influence. A very famous name. So these are the two books. One was for kind of men, so to speak, that how they should behave, etc., how to influence, how to talk to other people, etc. And the Family Post book was not only for girls, it was for every homemaker, everybody, you know, it really taught you what to do in your home to entertain people.
Like you see, for instance, this kid who helps me, she didn't come and ask you want a cup of tea.
No, she asked me
Anything. Millennium.
I'm going to search for Ellen.
You have to have it.
You have such a
Everybody should have it.
You have such a grand place for the life you have lived. That's also very important because in New York, people don't have this kind of space. But you have the space, you have the guest suite, the guest apartment. So everything that you wanted to do, all this helped, right? And you have your own office here in the apartment.
In the back.
Yes. And it's a huge... How many bedrooms do you have in
There's
this?
600 square feet in the back.
Amazing. So the whole apartment is how many?
5,000.
5,000. It's a lot. And you still live upstairs. You still...
Yeah, upstairs, my bedroom is, and little sitting room is 600 square feet.
Oh. Amazing. Lovely.
I have a little sitting room upstairs.
It's very, very nice.
The book is available.
But I had an idea, yeah, of course, I had an idea for you with your cookbook. Why don't you do a fundraiser for a charity in Pakistan, Hungry Children or something that appeals to people, where you buy the book for 200 instead of 100. You use it as a fundraiser. It would work.
That's an idea. Thank you. Anyway, it was lovely talking to you, Gloria. Any other stories you can remember? Any other stories?
And I do encourage her to keep on remembering.
Yeah, I wanted to remember. I want to jog her mind a little bit. It's amazing the story she initially before you came about Pakistan, about Firoz Khan Noon and all the rest of it. I can't believe it that you remember
know,
1947.
I met the Consul General of Pakistan.
Who?
He's a Pashtun.
He's a Pashtun.
And
Who's this?
He's a
New Consul
Pashtun.
General of Pakistan.
Yes.
I like him.
Where did you meet him?
I don't know, but I did.
Uh-huh.
He's been here.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, I think so.
And you met our new ambassador. We were there together at our new ambassador's house.
But he's lovely, and sometimes he wears his Pashtun national dress.
Really?
Which is what?
Like a skirt or something. It's
Very shallow, I like it. Yeah, I think there's no difference between the dress for men in Pakistan.
very elegant.
Yeah, of course. And he's a nice looking guy.
I really like him.
Gloria, tell me what you just said, that you can never be full of too much of.
Can't be too full of yourself.
Why?
I don't, the word is not humble, but the word is, what is the word that we have to use? You have to value honor, word of honor. You have to live up to the best values in the world. And you have to understand that not everybody will ride with you on that. You have to be flexible.
And how have you, with so much dealing with people right on the top, you must have seen so much. How have you dealt with people that you didn't like?
I found people at the top were easy to cooperate, work with, and deal with. I find the arrivist very difficult, very uncomfortable. The arrivist. That is, the would-be like to be, but will have trouble getting there.
The would-be, the like-to-be, they are the difficult ones.
The word is arrivist in French.
Arabist.
New arrivals.
So they kind of hold grudges.
Yes, they're still wet behind the ears. Arrivist is, they would like to be important and distinguished, but they'll never make it.
Why won't they make it?
They don't have it.
What is it that you need to get there?
Live and let live. Courtesy. Man de swap. Handshake. Agreements. Word of honor. Not everything a contract. If it needs a contract, a memo of understanding. Flexibility.
I think humanity, the degree of humanity.
Humanity is a very big word.
The problem is that everybody who gets there thinks of himself as a king, as the Caesar. And very soon, what happened to Caesar happens to them. Because they are operating on that basis.
I think
Gloria, now we want your memoir. We want your memoir now. Because it is, and start writing it quickly. Because it's amazing. You know, these are things that people learn from.
Yeah, this is it. I think Marina is right.
Yeah.
There are a lot of lessons.
A lot of these interviews that I'm doing, you'll be surprised that, and I get comments from it also. A lot of it is about leadership, whether it's leadership at home, whether it's leadership in a department, whether it's leadership at a country level.
leadership today is also trying to teach young people to take the right path. Young people today are rudderless ships. They're not educated. They're not intellectual. They don't read at all. Very few. Can't say all, but very few are educated.
But do you think that young people understand what's going on?
No.
Because they are the ones who are suffering. Why not?
Very few. Very few.
Well, they're standing up to a lot of things.
But I must say, here the Secretary General has invited young people to shadow some of the important people in the world.
It's a good thing. There are so many model UN organizations all over America. I'm on a board where we have 3,000 people come to New York every year for a model UN. These guys are crazy about UN. They believe in the UN, and we show them around, and they, how these model UN works. So we have a program, internship program, in which young people can apply to the UN, and they get to see the UN. They get to meet the thing. It's a great thing.
It's wonderful.
But the thing is, this is a very superficial impression. What needs to be done is more rigorous, to give them, selected people, more rigorous understanding of values of the UN. And I will talk about one thing in the Charter. No government, including the Secretary General, follows the Charter. It's Charter a la carte. I pick this and I pick that, but not this. So the fault lines are very much with us, the UN, not keeping up to the standards and expectations of the framers of the Charter.
But who should lecture? Who should lecture?
I would be very happy to give this.
Sorry?
No, yes, I was teaching at one time. I gave up because the students were not prepared, and the university, it was Long Island University, that university was more interested in taking money from the kids.
Did you like my cookbook, Gloria?
I love your cookbook.
What do you like about it?
Well, I like it because it's an elite Pakistani gourmet dinner, which most people would never have had because they don't know elite Pakistanis that well. You have to know an elite Pakistani to get an elite recipe from them. A special cuisine, the right wine, the right service to bring out the taste of the food for the simplicity.
Talk about the importance of communication and
Communicate. Well, I love the press. Communication, tailored communication, developed to carry the right message to the right people.
that is the important thing.
Yes,
To
talent, detailed and designed, and helping to get it to where it has to go.
nothing irresponsible.
It's an influencer.
The problem is that we have a Western mentality of dealing with a group of people who are not Western. They are not Irish. So how do you deal with them? We are Harvard-educated people who go there and tell them what to do. They are not going
I
to do
know
that.
that's the problem.
They are not going to do that.
And my idea is the sewing machines are the ones that use a pedestal, or you call it a one-arm bandit.
Oh, that's
No
one.
energy. And the girls would have a fashion industry.
In any case, they'll have some work to do to begin with. Then once you become, then you introduce experts into how to do it and collect their work.
Gloria, tell me what's your age? What did you just say?
I'm going to be 99.
99. Touch wood, we say, I mean, we say mashallah, which actually means just stay blessed. That's what we say. And 99, oh my God.
But the elegant Pakistanis, they're not around. I don't know where.
One is sitting here. One is sitting here.
No, well, you know where I mean. The club.
Yeah.
It was a club. Harun Gautam.
Yeah, he was an extraordinary. I'm full of
Have you seen him
admiration.
at all?
Yeah,
Please give him a
I
review.
telephoned
He'll be
him.
very happy to hear this on the video when he sees it, that you mentioned him.
But I'll call him and tell him.
But
I'm not.
I think what you should do with your cookbook is sell it and raise money for a cause in Pakistan.
I'll do that. I'll remember that.
That makes
Thank you for
sense.
the advice. Yeah.
And I'll give you another idea. You ask Harun, can your cook give us a good recipe? A recipe from the house of Harun.
Oh, yeah. There is one in the
top
book, no?
people in Pakistan.
Sorry?
A few top people like
Yeah, that could
a
be
guest recipe.
Yeah, I think that could be a very interesting idea. Some top recipes from the top houses, homes.
Elite.
Elite, of course.
With the Pakistani food, I frankly, 90% of it can't eat it. It's too spicy.
No, so you come to my house and I've never had spice for you.
No, but that's what you have to say. That you have your recipes from you are for international guests. And then you can still have a guest spicy recipe from an elite table. The elite tables
Yeah.
section.
I think that's a very good idea for your project.
I'm starting a YouTube now, so I'm going to put a lot of that on my YouTube. I
But
take
you-
these ideas
but
and
you can do another book. With 80,000, you make a plan.
well, most of the pictures that I have, they're all elite houses.
No, we're talking about food. Now,
And yeah,
recipes, for example, Rosanna, you can do a write-up with 5.
so what were you doing for 10 years in London?
I started working for the Tatler magazine, and I founded with Nizam Ali, the Islamic Council of Europe, with Salem Azam, the nephew of Azam Pasha. I founded the Islamic Council of Europe.
What else?
I have the newspapers. I worked on his newspapers.
I mean, the things we are hearing today, all these decades we didn't know.
But I worked very hard to build the Islamic Council of Europe with Nizam Ali.
This was, what year was that? What year was that?
1970 to about 1980.
So, yeah, so politically it was not in where it is today. So
It was
politically,
powerful. All the heads of state used to come in for the dinners. I'm talking Libya, you name it, in 1970. I have those photographs.
you have to do your memoir and all those pictures. I mean, they are at priceless.
But you know, somehow or other, I had two hats. First of all, I worked for Rockefeller for 10 years. You know afterwards to have a credential to get in the UN, no matter who you are or what you were. I only had a press credential. So I always went as press.
It's okay because you knew them. So the press was just, but you already knew those people.
Yes.
You had the connections. So what you were doing was not that important. I mean, you didn't need that reference.
I'm telling you, I was friendly with Princess Ashraf. She had a townhouse.
Yeah,
She did. She couldn't care less what people thought I am. I saw her in Paris. I saw her here. I saw her when she was deciding which girl could marry the Shah. She was the influence, but she helped pick out the girl, the Empress. I was there in Paris.
amazing, yeah. No, you have the quality in you to draw people towards you, and then you have generosity of spirit, then you got this home, then you had a guest quarter. These are all part of your...
Well, for Americans, Marina, it's what school you went to. Who are your friends? It's the old school tie.
Isn't that true with everywhere, or is it just very American?
Well, in America, well, also in France. When I was in France, I went to this French convent d'Assomption. You couldn't get in unless you were in one of the royal families or whatever. It's getting in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, of course. That is key. But then you started off, and what was your husband doing?
He owned a chain of stores. He was successful. 6'4", very good looking.
I've seen a picture of his,
He
yeah.
was good.
Yeah. And he was in the finance?
No, he owned a chain of stores.
Oh,